Hello, Wayland Middle School. Mr. Farley here, and I'm going to share with you a video on some negative exponents. Some of these are a little bit more challenging. You're going to notice that we'll have multiple variables on some of these, and I always like to kick a video like this off with this example that we have here in front of us. So let's take some careful notes and let's see if we can make some sense of this. So the first thing we're going to take a look at here is just reading this expression. It's read 3x to the negative fourth. And what you need to do is you need to identify what the base of the exponent is. And that's really important. So remember, the base is the number or the variable directly below the power here, directly below the exponent. And in this case, the base of this is x. Okay, so it's really important. Now let's flash back and let's think about what a negative exponent does. We know that the negative exponent is telling us to take the reciprocal. We know that the reciprocal. So what I'm looking at here is I want the reciprocal of x to the fourth power. Well, the reciprocal of x to the fourth power is 1 over x to the fourth. That's the reciprocal of x to the fourth power. And this is what it is, 1 over x to the fourth. Now I have this coefficient. Remember, the coefficient's out in front. The coefficient's being multiplied by this base, okay? So I'm just going to multiply this reciprocal by 3, and I can write it as 3 over 1 if I want to do that. 3 times 1 is 3. Denominator times denominator is x to the fourth, and this is your simplified expression. Remember, to fully simplify an exponential expression, we need to eliminate negative exponents, and I just did that. That is what I'm looking for. This is fully simplified. If we look next door here, we see almost the same problem. The difference is now I have some parentheses. If I read it, it sounds exactly the same as the first one. So if I read it, 3x to the negative fourth, it sounds the same as this one here on the left side. But these parentheses are really, really important. The parentheses are telling us specifically that the base that I need to be considering is 3x. So the base is the whole thing in parentheses, because this base in parentheses 3x is directly below the exponent here, directly below the power. So that is the base. This means, again, the negative exponent means I want the reciprocal. So I am taking the reciprocal of 3x to the fourth power. Well, if I do the reciprocal of 3x to the fourth power, that is 1 over 3x to the fourth power. Now, it's very important to include the parentheses. You have to include those parentheses. So now if I'm really going all the way and simplifying for this one here, I probably want to use my rules of power to power to try to figure this out. If I expand the bottom, if I expand this fourth power goes to both of these. So it's really 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times x times x times x times x. And if I fully simplify this and clean it up all the way, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. And I have x times x times x times x, which is x to the fourth. And there you have it. You can see how we simplify it all the way down to 1 over 81 x to the fourth. So kids, you want to make sure you're paying close attention to this, realizing that both of these sound the same when you read them, but they mean something really different, okay, when we simplify. Make sure you identify the base first so that you can successfully simplify that expression. All right, so let's try one more. We have one more example. It's here on the second slide. I want you to take a look at this. I think you're going to like this one too. So this looks way more complicated. I'm telling you here, this is the original problem, and I'm telling you in advance that this is what it's going to simplify to. This is the simplified form. My question is, how do we really get to that simplified form? So I want to show you the math behind it so we can do this. So looking at the purple box, looking at the numerator, I see a to the negative third power. We've done quite a few of these. You now know that the negative exponent is telling you to take the reciprocal of a to the third power. So if I do the reciprocal of a to the third power, I'm hoping you get 1 over a to the third. Look at the denominator. The denominator is the reciprocal, negative exponent means reciprocal of b to the third power. We can write that as 1 over b to the third. So now let's have a flashback to 6th grade. I have a fraction being divided by a fraction. I can rewrite this in a nice 6th grade form. Look at this. Look at that. I could rewrite it as the numerator divided by the denominator. And if I do this, I know the saying, I change the division to a multiplication, and I flip that second fraction. Flipping is the reciprocal, okay? Now I multiply my numerators. 1 times b to the third is b to the third. A to the third times 1 is a to the third. And oh my goodness, look what we ended up with. Exactly what we said we were going to have. B to the third over a to the third. So this is the math. This is the math behind all of this. You may notice that it might be asking yourself, can I just kind of flip this? Can I just flip this? The numerator is a to the negative third, and it becomes a to the third. The denominator is b to the negative third, and now look what it becomes, b to the third in the numerator. Can I flip-flop those? And the answer is yes, you can. But we definitely want to see the math behind it, how to get there, and hopefully that's what this video did for you. So, kids, hope you enjoyed. If you have questions, check it out. Ask questions with Mr. Coaten, Mr. Robinette, myself, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Hope you enjoy the video. Take care, everyone.